No, this is fine. This is fine then. Oh, this is fine, yeah. They're in breach of UK government legislation as far as I'm concerned on that. It's there written in black and white and highlighted in yellow. Oh, yeah, yeah.
If you wish to do that, we will put the screens right across. That means no members of the public can see what is happening for most of the parish council.
Actually, they can
Is
see
that
what's
democracy?
happening. They can see what's happening.
Why?
No, why? They can see exactly what's happening.
Look, we have a right to film parish council meeting. It's a public meeting.
Yeah, and
we have a right to film it. Any councillor who's uncomfortable with that should excuse themselves. That is the law under the 2014 Local Government Act. Now, no matter what motions you pass,
it does not say. It does not say that councillors have to be filmed. And
no, they can leave.
Excuse me, the 1998 Data Protection Act overruled.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
It does not. Has been overruled by the 2014 Act.
This is showing you exactly what.
no, it's not. It is protecting
This
the
is-
safety and security.
This will be
Sorry,
going.
that one is still filming.
This one's going to the BBC first thing.
You're not filming at the moment, are you?
See.
This is a private meeting at the moment. You're not allowed to film in a
No,
private
it isn't.
meeting.
It's
It's a public meeting. It's a
No,
public
the
meeting.
meeting hasn't started yet.
It's a public
It's a public meeting.
Not until 7 o'clock.
And the public has paid for this hall.
public up here. It's a public meeting.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Good.
Bye.
So the screens could come down.
Anybody else?
Why not?
Because the screens are there to protect the safety and security of some councillors.
Some councillors have been on YouTube all weekend.
I'm not arguing with you.
No.
You've got no argument.
I have.
You haven't.
You haven't. You have to apply.
We've got the law. We're working with the law. You're not.
You're not.
I am working with the law.
You're not.
You're
I
not.
have,
Well, show me. Give me evidence.
I have investigated it fully.
Give me no. Give me evidence. Give me evidence. Don't just say I've done it. You put a lot of things like I believe. So please give me evidence. I want to see it in black and white.
I have.
We've had 2 judges, police, everything looking into this. You are actually breaking the law now. If the councillors don't want to be filmed,
Resign.
Yeah, resign.
Okay,
leave.
fine, I'll resign.
great. Anyone else?
Any more? Because those screens are coming down.
No, they're not.
I beg your pardon.
Those screens aren't going.
No worries.
If you want to sit there and break the law, then that's fine. You'll be answerable to the law.
Okay, I'll break the law.
So
If
you're
you
happy
think
to
I'm
do that?
breaking the law, you prove
No,
it.
we know you're breaking the law. We know you're breaking the law, and you know you're breaking the
No,
law.
I'm not.
Can I just add something here?
Yeah.
We
In
can't
addition
see
to all-
the-
in addition to all the security matters that are being talked about, I believe that the Act was not designed to promote filming from people with ulterior motives. In this case, the persons demanding to film has
No,
been verbally.
you
I
have
want it-
moved.
I want this on camera.
You have moved.
Bad luck.
Be careful.
Carry on, David, please.
Be careful.
In this case, the person demanding to film has been verbally attacking the parish council for a period of time and has on several occasions demanded the resignation of both the chair and vice chair of the parish council. He and his wife have also indicated that one of the reasons they want to film is for body language, hands raised, etc. In all of these circumstances, it is fair to assume that one of the purposes of the filming is to ridicule the council and the council members. This, in my view, is a strong reason for not filming in accordance with the Act, but following in accordance with the council's existing policy.
David, how can it ridicule the council if they're not doing anything wrong? And if they're behaving properly, how can it possibly ridicule the council?
As far as I'm concerned, I believe there are
That's
ulterior
nonsense,
motives.
David, and you know
But
that.
no, it isn't or not. It isn't.
Belief is not good enough.
Really?
Belief is not good enough.
Ridicule is a nonsense. You can only ridicule somebody if they put themselves in a position of being ridiculed.
Yeah, why use those shy?
Well, we're not.
Okay, I'm just going to make a comment to my fellow councillors. I'm a great believer in us being a team of people working for the parish council, but I'm also a great believer that we're actually servants of people. We are actually working on behalf of our parishioners. Now, I have no problem being videoed. If people have a specific problem, then that's fine and proper. But the idea that we've got a screen against 71% of the council, I don't think shows us, to be frank, in the best open light. You know, we have to be open and accountable to our parishioners. That's my view, my honest view. But you know, I will go with the decision.
I mean, I have taken advice, and the screens were what were advised.
Where's that advice?
Probably from Trevor Lego.
You see, where is that advice? Read it out. Show us that advice that you've taken.
None of us want this.
Oh, you don't believe what I say?
No.
So you're calling me a liar in public?
No, I want you to provide proof for what you've said.
I'm not sure if I've actually got it.
No, I'm sure you haven't.
I beg your pardon.
I think he said, I'm sure you haven't. This is for transparency, something that you tend to preach a lot, but don't actually practice.
There you go, the proof. My initial reaction is that the council picks up a
That is
screen.
not a legal opinion. That is from Trevor.
That's not
Lego.
legislation.
It's not a legal thing, it is the advice we've been
We've-
given. I've also taken advice from the police and have had the same thing.
Okay, where is it then?
Well,
Where is that advice?
You can take the UK legislation we've got, not an opinion or a belief. This is UK legislation that we are working behind.
It's a regulation of open government.
the legislation does not state councillors must be filmed.
It also states that there's a weight towards openness and transparency and a presumption towards that, and there is nothing in those provisions to say that people can refuse to be filmed.
Well, there's nothing to say they can refuse, but there's nothing to say they have to be.
Yes, but then the weight goes towards openness and transparency.
Well,
that's the presumption.
Maybe it's
because
something. Maybe it's something that needs to be tested.
Izzy, it's 7 o'clock.
Right.
Are you starting the meeting or
I'm
not?
going to start the meeting.
If
Can I have a minute?
I'm not going to be filmed, so I'll sit here.
Okay.
Why don't you want to be filmed?
I'm an employee, I do not want my face out in the general public.
Sorry,
It
Well,
is.
you can shout in the general public. You're on Facebook.
Excuse me, the meeting is starting. I've called the meeting to order. It
Don't
is
you
7 o'clock.
shout at me
I said, excuse me, I have called the meeting
and
to
bang your
order.
stupid little gavel.
Can we have some mutual respect here and just listen?
Well, that would make it
That works both ways.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not
Yes, and when we make offers of meeting people to discuss things, we kind of expect them to respond in a positive manner. Right, this meeting tonight is being filmed and audio recorded. Ta-da! We have taken steps to ensure that members of the public are not
Are you
filmed.
okay?
However, the audio recording will pick up comments. So please be aware, especially if you are naming any member of the public or anyone who is not present. Anyone who films or audio records the meeting is responsible from any claims or any liability that may result from them doing so. I apologise to members of the public who came here for a normal parish council meeting. And we now have screens which stop members of the public present from seeing all councillors, because some councillors wish to film the parish council meeting. It is their right, but they cannot give us insurances that they will not include employees and some councillors in these shots. If a councillor has a reason for not being filmed, the parish council will support them in that. If members of the public or councillors feel that this arrangement, which is the only one we can proceed with for the parish council meeting tonight, if they feel this arrangement is disruptive to the meeting now or at any time during the meeting, please let councillors know. Anyone who tries to film through these screens will be asked to desist. Councillors are volunteers, and we are entitled to some privacy. Residents are asked not to approach them at their home. Well, you're shaking your head, you don't know what I'm going to say.
You're under the same
Residents
duties
is
as
not
any
in public
people.
debate.
Residents should not approach them at their homes unless they are invited to do so. It's a different paragraph. It's good to see that many notices are being put up around the village publicising forthcoming events. Those posting these notices, please be aware of not covering up existing notices. And also that some notice boards belong to specific groups. For example, the parish council and the village hall. If you wish to put a notice in any of these boards, please contact the relevant group, as they have some guidelines for them. Public questions need to be kept brief and not to be repetitive. As you will see from the notes on participation at PC meetings, which is on your chairs, or there's some other copies on the thing. Are you comfortable up there?
Fine.
So, yeah, just those.
Please continue.
Where did I get to? Yes. An individual's question should be limited to 3 minutes. This is to allow as many individuals as possible to ask questions. Open forum after the meeting is not usually filmed and will not be filmed. It will allow further issues to be discussed, but briefly. Answers will not necessarily be given to questions asked tonight, because the parish council will not have been given advance notice of them. If you wish to ask questions at parish council and get replies, some of them may be detailed and we do need advance notice. All right. It is with personal sadness, but also with great respect and gratitude, that I have to announce that Pauline, our proper officer, has informed me that she has decided to retire at the end of the year.
That is totally unnecessary.
No, it's a show of appreciation.
From certain people it probably would be,
Yeah. She had given me her intention to retire a year ago. However, due to the objection to the external auditor, she decided that as RFO it was her responsibility to stay in post and see that objection to its conclusion. Now the external auditors have reported and the recommendations made by them implemented, she has decided to take her belated retirement. Obviously we wish her all well, and we'll be doing more near the time. The parish council will now embark on the process to appoint her successor. They will be hard shoes to fill. Pauline has given us good notice, so the handover can be smooth and planned and relatively seamless, which, believe you me, will be no easy task. Thank you. Right, apologies for absence.
Councillor Maynard.
Oh, right. He's not coming late.
I haven't heard that.
Right, okay.
He hasn't texted.
Code of conduct and disclosure of
Can I just
interest.
make a comment? There are 2 absences which you should note. If you said apologies for absence, Councillor Williams is not here, Councillor Sharpe is not
Councillor Williams has resigned.
here before the meeting.
Yes.
So we need to know that, I guess.
He's not a councillor. As soon as he resigns, he
Councillor
becomes a councillor.
Resignation. And Councillor Sharpe will be joining us
Very short.
very shortly. She's been detained. Any disclosures of of interest on any items of the agenda from councillors? No, thank you. Public questions in respect of items on the agenda. This is where the things, I think I can see a finger from Jeff.
Yes, it's Jeff Smith.
Thank you.
I have two, please, Chair.
Sorry?
I have two questions, please, and items on the agenda.
Which items?
Agenda 8A, to consider and approve the attached schedule of
Yes.
payments for July. Can I just reiterate what I asked for last month, which was for the income to start to be shown, please? Now, 4 months without. Just one thing on the actual schedule itself, I note that there must have been a donation to the parish council, and a share of the donation is being issued to MOPS, and I believe, according to what's in the comments, the other part or half will be going to Ditch. Can I just have very clarification, please, that that was a request by the donor?
Okay, and your second question?
Sorry, the two were really.
Oh, those
clear.
were the two,
Thank
okay.
you.
Any other?
Sorry, apologies. There is one small one. Agenda item 10A. Any report from Councillor Turnbull's on anything which can assist the Twitten between Woodland Way and into the woods? I know it's an ongoing saga.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Agenda item number 13.
Can I have your name, please?
Graham Gillett.
Thank you.
Item 13.
Yeah.
Website. Yeah.
Two questions. Would the Parish Council be prepared to accept help from me to bring the new website or the development of the new website to completion? Second question, if the Vice Chair's assertion that FastHost will not update their hosting provision to PHP version 8 is correct, and that GoDaddy will permit you to install the website on a PHP 8 instance, why have you not simply moved the current website from FastHost to GoDaddy, which would be a lot easier to achieve?
You might have to repeat that when Councillor Sharpe's back. I don't do shorthand, I'm afraid.
Fast host to GoDaddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? No. Okay. Right. The minutes of the last meeting. Councillors, do you have any anything on the minutes that you feel is not accurate? Are you happy for me to sign these as an accurate record of the last parish council meeting?
Yes, yes.
Are there any matters arising from that that are not otherwise on the agenda? Probably shouldn't be because we have the same items on the agenda. Right. District councillors' reports. Who wants to go first?
You're going to do the silk. Well, I'll go first, so if you wish to add anything, that's fine. Yes, all that I'm going to say is subject to confirmation at the full council meeting this coming Monday. First of all, the contract with Biffa looks set to continue for another 7 years from June 2026. They've given very good service, so I welcome that. And of course, by staying with the same contractor, it saves the costs of tendering and all the rest, which would be considerable. As part of that, and it's a joint contract with Wheeldon, of course, we shall be acquiring a new fleet of vehicles, and they will be using hydro-treated vegetable oil rather than conventional diesel. This will be from June 2026 also, and that results in a 90% reduction in CO2 emissions and also particulates and other pollutants. So that is very good news from the environmental point of view, and it goes a long way to helping us towards our net zero target for Robin. Also from, well, this time March 2026, there will be a weekly food waste collection. This is a central government requirement rather than a Rother initiative, and I hope that we will be financially reimbursed, at least to an extent, by central government, and that should be of benefit to us all, I hope. You may have heard of Rother's development at Blackfriars at Battle. That's a development to be about 200 houses, which we are building through our own building company. It's a difficult site, on a very sloping, and it has been difficult to develop, and we have feared that we would not be able to provide any affordable housing on the site. All this is still uncertain, and there are many slip-ups on the way, no doubt. But the recent figures show that we should be able to devise a scheme whereby affordable housing will be delivered to a considerable extent on that site, and that is really good news as long as it happens. I'm sure you'll be hearing more about that in the future. Councillor Droner referred to the community infrastructure levy. There are some revisions to the scheme. I don't know if you may not know. Community infrastructure levy is charged on building new houses, and the parish council gets a share of it, as they have in respect of the market garden site, and the rest goes to Rother, which is then allocated obviously to infrastructure projects. But there are various pots of money, and two of those pots which concern strategic, that is to say Rother-wide projects. Two of the pots, the rural and the Bexhill, are to be merged, because of course we're dealing with the whole of the district, and it will work better that way. Some of us had feared that this was perhaps a way of Bexhill getting the upper hand, or some sinister motive. We were proved wrong about that. It's entirely innocent and rational, and I think it's worth noting that within Rother, the distribution of community infrastructure funds is decided upon by a panel of councillors. The road councillors are formed from all parties and balanced between rural and Bexhill, so that there is no danger there. And I have to say, some councils just let officers distribute the money without councillor input. But at Rother, we've been very definite that we wanted councillors to have the final word on where the money went. So that's all I've got to say. Tim.
Well, nice one. Expressions of interest, though, that was the other area that's going to review from the community infrastructure levy, which is quite good news that that's open all year round, and before it was an annual gathering exercise. So whenever anything comes in and the parish wishes to, make it known to the district council, they're able to do so throughout the year.
Evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Bit of an odd call we've had.
Thank you.
Is everyone okay to start with?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Carol's in the back.
Sorry.
I'm going to suspend the meeting for a moment.
More fuel.
Do you want an advert?
Could you request that any other business
Why do they not want to be seen
for
by the
the
general public?
private session, please?
And I think they have a right to,
He said they want to record.
and there is some intention here between them. Right to
Did you get those good looking young men?
I did.
that's quite extraordinary.
Send it to
It
you.
is a bit, probably reasonable.
I don't have your email, unfortunately.
Could hardly hear what Andy was saying.
Yeah, it's
So
very
we need to
quiet.
speak up. My hearing isn't that wonderful. Having somebody's head in front of you can't see the vision that you're in. Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Isn't there all fine? Can't I finish my report? It really is, isn't it?
Well, I've got lots of questions, but I don't understand this. I don't understand the procedure. But I think it's after why they can't see my general public, that will have another candidate. So probably not approved for
Well, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, I've never seen that. But then I've never seen a screen up either.
If you're like with those screens up, I can't hear. So a lot of it, I literally
We're both bound to the same.
yeah, it's actually been this light grey. Very dark. Well, yeah, now we know that. Yeah. Three pieces. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then the two pieces that are going to join. You'll get out of this. You should be listened to. Confidence. The actual production will be stage.
Yeah, be good. Yeah.
Welcome to the madness.
He did send me a text, but I didn't see it. Dominic said, yeah, but I didn't see it.
Interesting. County financial officers to retire.
Yeah. Copy.
Oh, nice code.
phone call very early last week. Someone was quite anxious and put it down. That's right. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, yes. Yes, I know exactly.
Because they're open to make those gardens look the size they are now.
Glad to see Fleet Street.
No, I write up part of that review because I have an aversion to being hit by motorcars. I write up Wall Road. Some of it has to be on that field, sadly. Because long ago there was an initiative to take Sustra's path off the road to part of the files. I think take it down that way. That was Scott Stroke grounds that there was something in the rights of way improvement. So any new rights of way for non-motorised users had to include equestrians as well as cyclists and pedestrians. It's really rather hurried down. It didn't include equestrians. So the equestrian mob are quite upset about it.
That's a shame. They didn't have horses there, they could have gone beyond with a bucket and a shovel.
No, I mean it's really there should be a safe, traffic-free route from the top of
the country park.
From that there should be a safe, traffic-free route up to Coastguard Cafe. It didn't include equestrians. Took a look at the rights of way improvement act, right of way improvement plan for each substance. Where we're not included, well, it says everybody, non-motorised users should be able to use it. They were somehow excluded, and so it does. But it might be now.
No, it's Labour. Labour.
Is it Labour?
Yeah.
It's a possibility. There might be more safe routes for cyclists and pedestrians. And the question is,
It's all about their value to money though, really.
it's then, yeah, it is now. Then there was money, now there isn't. It's a shame. Well, so that compared with some, I think that's 2007, something like that. My father-in-law was young, my mother-in-law died. Before father-in-law died. I don't know. I tried to think this is the first time I came down to Fairlight. I know my father-in-law was a public school teacher, and he had a tight cottage, hired house with the job. And I remember the discussion of Fairlight when I happened to be this is some mysterious entity that they all talked about very fondly. But I don't think I visited until after we were married. So I don't know much of it. Sorry? Question. Nearly 51 years ago.
In that case, soon we probably remember
Well, we were all from Poland. Yeah, that was happening last week. Not that long ago. Oh, I done that first.
For the no, never saw the first bill, but we came in 2004, so we've seen the second and third bit.
There was a 50-year agreement with the Environment Agency.
There was, I think after the first bill, there was I would say surplus money, but there was unallocated money, which was meant to be ring-fenced for future maintenance. Yeah. But if the money was being spent wrong.
Well, I've never been to a meeting twice. And I hope never to do it again. But I don't understand why people don't want to be photographed. Haven't got something to hide. Camera shy or something? Am I just throwing that out?
John, I watched your video the other day from Ian's one of your day at Brilliant, wasn't it?
Lovely day.
And you had the weather as well.
Yeah, I did. There's pegs, what they call it. They did a 20 or 30 pegs made in the laps.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It was a lovely day.
Yeah, it was, and you know, the speeches, I listened to the speeches afterwards and that, and yeah, well, you done well.
I'm not the chairman anymore. I did it for a while.
No, but you...
I've been in the league for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a...
You've got to move on.
But it's a position though, isn't it? You know, that you hold anyway, whether you're chair or whatever. Yeah.
Just to keep it on the road.
How long have you been there?
Well, 20 years I've been in the league. We've been in the village 17 years.
Do you get another 5 years, do you get a clock? Do you get a gold clock?
It's quite a demanding job actually.
I can imagine.
Lots of branches are closing all over the country.
Yeah.
Even Hastings.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're thriving.
Do you know, it's the only charity that I actually give to.
Is it?
Yeah.
We do some good work, you know, really.
Yeah.
You're not filming my bottom, are you?
Yeah.
Boy racing. Yeah. I heard them the other night. The only thing I've got to talk about is the new catering has started, but hasn't sort of built up to full scale. No answer to the question about who's going to pick up the tab now that the initial 3 years of subsidy to
Number one, we
says that all the time.
Or I should be telling you like if you hear anything talking about tell them that you're
This is like I think that's risky because up Yorkshire, I mean, in Yorkshire, property owners don't have to
and what we're on the do is just fly the property doors and stuff that happens. This is what's happening. This is the action.
It's going to get free. Let's
Please send me an email.
You've never seen anything like it.
So the action. One people involved and send
You have to apologise, these guys.
Yeah, that's it.
It's temporary, right?
I don't know. I mean, don't expect what I didn't expect to put through this.
Stand outside for a bit, I am coming back.
When you go from right to dark,
Now I think anything it needs to be moved. At least on the north. Now anything to mark the road will be super.
So now those things are like what? Stop it. No, I agree. But all of this stuff is the stuff we're talking about specific things.
Good man.
So who is actually behind this screen?
David Shortman and Ron Phillips.
No.
We're going about chassis being bullied.
What else is on the agenda?
Well, they're in different stages.
Take questions. Prepared to take questions from various aspects.
What I was concerned about was this is
The executives have not to be I would like to see my accuser. We've had no reply.
Yes.
And you've got one councillor and said, we apologise, or we don't think that's wrong. And as I said, you don't really ask
Oh no, I agree.
I really do.
But I still can't. Because it's something that affects all of us. It will affect all of us. And there's such bad things that I feel sorry for anyone who might think. Because I can realise the vulnerable situation. Well, not a lot of this.
I don't think I've ever been videoed.
It'd be nice to go again
You only just did it, keep moving the
Very
bit.
fencing there.
you know, see how the progress is going. Picture, I'll do it. They'll do nothing until they've got a lump of stone in there, you know, everything's there. Now, it's a chance, isn't it?
Curious to find out
Alleged crime case. Warrant. What did I say to you before we came up? The community spirit that we've created between police and public. One of these days we're going to call it the car. So these police can come in and eating food. This is later.
Doesn't change the law, but doesn't change the law. Sorry?
So how many of us are going to do it tonight? Well, ways of police time, right? What the ways? And if you're not on the street, they won't react that quickly.
No, I know.
And that's not
calm down.
Right. Right, thank you all for waiting. I will now reinstate standing orders. Where have we got to? Number 8. Don't we? Tim finished it? Tim, had you finished speaking?
Not entirely.
Okay, you mentioned about the expressions of interest for Sil.
Yeah, that was one thing. And just to sort of round off from Councillor Mears' report about the conversion to biofuels or whatever, that's going to come at quite a hefty cost to the council. And the budget's being sort of finalised for the year as well, and there's going to be a £2 million drawdown from reserves. So initiatives like that are fantastic on paper, but I think it's about £300,000.
We don't have political comments in this meeting.
Well, it's a fact that was left out of a report that I thought the public might wish to know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Right. Item 8, financial matters. To consider and approve the schedule of payments. The question about the income not being shown.
It was, do you want me to answer that one? Yeah. It was mentioned at the last meeting, you put on the June minutes, it does actually appear now on the June minutes when they're actually published.
Is that with the backdated for the last 3 months or that, please?
I can't remember what's on the June.
The June meeting is April, May and year to date.
April, May and June.
June will go on to July.
Which is the
Thank
total
you.
of this financial year.
Thank you.
Just April and May on the June minutes.
And year to date.
Thank you. And year to date.
No, it's June the 24th.
June's not
Okay.
on.
Thank you.
Income for
This-
June is not on. Just April and May.
That's what I said. April and May are on there.
Busy was saying it wasn't, and the public was saying it wasn't, I'm just correcting them.
Right, and the other question was about the donation to Mop via Dish.
Yes, the request from a resident was that it was actually split 50-50.
Thank you.
Between Dish and Rock.
Okay. Anything else, councillors, on the schedule of payments that you wish to ask about? Okay. And to consider and sign the monthly bank reconciliations which have been here. I'll sign them at the end, if that's okay for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Planning committee. To receive the monthly report, I believe.
You've got the information for the items on the actual thing here. The only main thing now is just to really report that the council's response to the draft local plan has been submitted. I would like to thank everyone who was involved in the production. It was a real good team effort.
Yeah.
And I think it was an excellent job. Hopefully it will have the desired effect.
May I ask a question about that?
Oh, you can.
I was given a copy of it. Is the copy that I was given, is that the final report?
That is as the final report.
There are some errors in it.
It's the final report that was sent to Pauline. It's not the final report that was sent to Robert. Pauline did tidy it up.
It says here that the Rother District Coastal was to work on current coastal defences to hold the line until at least 2050. That's not what the commitment was. It was to hold the line for 50 years, which from 1990 makes it 2040. So that's an error.
Okay.
It's
too late because it closed at 5 o'clock today.
Well,
So
that's not very helpful, is it? And also at the bottom it says downstream pet, and it's not pet, it's pet level.
Petton, Marsh and Brook, it says, I think.
No, it doesn't. In this copy, it just says downstream in Pett, which if somebody looks at the map, they'll think that's a bit odd.
Well,
Pett is up, not downstream. It should be Pett level.
Right. Right, okay, well, it's gone and I underscore what.
I thought it was 2050 anyway.
No, that's 50 years, David, which from 1990 to 2040.
Why are you saying it's 1990?
So that's when it was done, that's when it was built, it was the first berm.
That was the first berm, but I think there were variations as they went along.
No, they weren't. The first berm was the one that was counted, and it said 50 years from then.
I think actually this is a bit of an academic question,
it
because
is,
the
really.
planners will know the Hold the Line. The Hold the Line is a very well publicised document.
And I'm just
The
thinking,
Can I just say?
the document has gone in
Yeah.
because the deadline was 5 o'clock. I presume it was 5 o'clock.
Can I just say, the reason why the amendment went in was that the document initially was not making it clear at all for how long Robert would be holding the line. What we put in was something which, as far as we genuinely understood it, was that all of the berms and coast protection schemes, including the pumps, would be maintained until we thought 2050. If it's 2040, it's 2040. But the point was to make sure that the thing said it was the whole lot that was going to be maintained and hold the line. Otherwise, we could have problems at a later date if one of the, if for instance, one of the berms had not had that hold the line thing, and they said, well, we're not maintaining it. So I think we acted cautiously, and I have no doubt at all we did the right thing.
And in fact, talking to the planners at the meeting, I talked to them about the coastal management area, and they were saying that they were trying to strengthen that bit anyway in the foreground.
I just want to.
We're very much in a coastal area, so this is one of the most important things. We don't just miss things like
David, I do know this. I have been around since '77 in this area, so I don't need you to tell me.
Can we keep civility,
yes,
please?
I'm being civil, thank you.
No, you were shouting.
I am not.
You were shouting.
And it's important that if there's accuracy, so I just wish this had been shown to me before it was going, because I could have made sure that it said Pett level and not Pett.
Could I just say that I think if rather when they look at the plan, or where it's going to look at the plan, if they see there are any errors, as with all the other suggestions we've made, they will accept or reject or alter.
Yeah.
So,
shame that it makes it sort of a bit inaccurate. So I just think it doesn't give a good impression.
Well, I think out of a 480-page document, to have possibly 2 areas that are not completely accurate is actually a fairly good hit rate. Given that this plan was looked at by councillors and residents, all of whom actually have lives as well. Right, moving on. Moving on. Well, it wasn't shown earlier because the meeting with the planners was only on the 11th of July.
It could have been shown to me earlier.
Chair. Anyway, moving on. Land management. Land management steering group. There's a monthly report somewhere. I did send it, yes. On Friday I was at a Pathfinder meeting which was quite informative, and they're carrying on with the lining work, and I think those in the areas that are going to be lined have had letters, and updates will be provided. Ron, there was a question about the Twitten. I don't know if you're able to answer it now, or you wish to look into it and discuss it with the questioner in a bit more detail.
I'll certainly look into it, but Jeff, if you could elucidate what you're referring to, please.
Yes, I'll speak to it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Afterwards, yeah, thank you.
Can I just, sorry,
Yeah.
can I just say in relation to Dallwood, etc., that I had a meeting with Sue Clark and one of the other volunteers that she works, or core volunteers she works with. And they're continuing to coppice and do what is necessary, but there's only 2.5 of them really, bless them. And,
Is the half the dog?
What Sue is asking for is that we can publicise the fact that she or they meet every Tuesday around about 10 o'clock, and volunteers would be most welcome. At the moment I'm endeavouring to get a scout group that I'm in touch with in relation to my responsibilities for the Royal British Legion to see if they can volunteer and give them a hand on certain occasions. But that's work in progress.
10 o'clock on Tuesdays?
Yes.
And they meet just somewhere in Norwood?
Yeah. Where the steps are.
But Sue Clark would be a point of contact, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we put that in the newsletter?
Thank you.
What else? We had a walk last month. I think we reported we'd had a walk around with the flood manager on Woodfield, and I had a chat with him after the Pathfinder meeting and updated him, and he was happy with the plan we had put in place, more of which in a little while. Steve, highways, anything?
Well, a couple of things I guess we should report to everybody. Due to Purdah, we've been unable to make correspondence with highways about repairs and Battery Hill discussions that happened, but that will now take place. However, on the 16th of July, we received a letter from Councillor Dowling, East Sussex County, which says that they are doubling the investment in the patching programme across the county, which has to be good news. And they've also said that roads are a priority for us at the County Council. So doubling of the patching programme can only be good. Those other road matters will be pursued, and hopefully we'll get some sort of answer with regard to Battery Hill, whether that be white lining or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah. Okay, and
Chair, Steve, could you mention the sightlines towards Martin Orlean as well?
Yeah.
That
Yes.
there. Thank you.
we were to receive a report from Councillor Williams, Williams, and we were hoping Carl would be here to help us with our discussions. We now need a councillor to pick this up, really, don't we?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
That's if we have a council next week.
Well, I think
I'll let you know how far we've got.
Thank you.
I think harassment aside, we will keep our councillors. The bench on the bench at the top of the mountain, which a lot of cyclists use and which had subsided, has been removed. We're not sure who by, but they've left the holes, which are now a bit of a problem. But I've been in touch with Ollie Hunter, who owns the other side of the hedge, and he is in contact with East Sussex, because it's highways